So each of the youth spokespeople here is going to speak on the theme of stigma and discrimination, which was identified through an e-consultation with young leaders around the world as being key issues facing young people in the fight against HIV and AIDS, and an issue that we don't think has received adequate attention, particularly for young people who are marginalized or invisible within their societies. So our first youth spokesperson is Kyla Zanardi. She is 21 and she is from Canada.
Thank you. I'm really honored to be able to speak on behalf of harm reduction and young harm reductionists. And so let me just get into it. One of our biggest concerns, and I know this is a concern among every one of the panelists here, is the fact that there is a lack of recognition of young people's realities and experiences. We often think of young people as a homogeneous group with shared experiences, but through my work I've noticed that that's not the case. We can't ignore the fact that young people are engaging in injection drug use, that they're young sex workers, that they're men having sex with men, and that they're street-involved youth.
Our next speaker will be Rodrigo Olin. He is from Mexico and he is 25 years old.
Gracias, buenas tardes por estar aquí. La situación de VIH-Sida en México y en Latinoamérica, si bien no comparte las mismas cifras y números y la dimensión como ocurre en el continente africano, sí está creciendo en gran medida. Entonces es importante recalcar que tan solo en la región de Latinoamérica existen alrededor aproximadamente de 420,000 jóvenes que viven con VIH y SIDA en nuestra región, mientras que en México el SIDA es la cuarta causa de muertes en jóvenes menores de 29 años y casi la mitad de las nuevas infecciones ocurren en jóvenes menores de 25 años. Es por eso que es muy importante visibilizar la situación por la cual atravesamos los jóvenes latinos y bueno, pues en virtud de eso mencionar que somos una población altamente vulnerable ante la epidemia de infección por VIH. Y es importante que seamos considerados no solamente los jóvenes afectados por el VIH, sino también los jóvenes que viven con VIH en el diseño, implementación y monitoreo de las políticas públicas, así como de los programas necesarios para desarrollar e implementar estas políticas. Nada para nosotros y nosotras, sin nosotros y nosotras mismos.
Our final speaker before we take questions from the audience is Nikki Imanguli. She is 21 from Azerbaijan. She's currently living in the US and working with advocates for youth on sexual and reproductive health issues, including doing advocacy around US foreign policy when it comes to HIV and AIDS. Nikki?
Thank you. Thank you everyone for being here today. Before I start today, I want you to take a good look at me. I may be HIV positive, I may be a sex worker, I may be an injecting drug user, I may be a young mother. I may be here as a young woman representing all these realities, but I know that I expect and deserve unconditional respect from everyone. I have a right to access resources I need for a healthier life. I expect policymakers to recognize my realities and ensure that I, a young woman, am not marginalized and discriminated against in my community. Stigma and discrimination of marginalized groups remains one of the most serious obstacles to prevention, care, and treatment for HIV and AIDS. HIV-positive young people are particularly vulnerable.